greetings of the day. First of all, let me take this opportunity to extend my greetings to chairperson of the day, Madam Pava. We are connected priorly too, but I am getting this opportunity to speak under her chairpersonship for the first time. So for me, it's a good luck day. The day begins with the blessings of the ma'am that I got this opportunity to speak before you. And later on, I would like to come to the topic directly, and at the same time, I would like to welcome dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I am having Gulati sir in my presence from Delhi University, and sir, I seek your blessings too, friendly guidance, and we were having chit chat that way. While talking about cultural studies in emerging scenario, let me go to the ancient India, and it is well said कि जितना पीछे प्रत्यंचा खींच के छोड़ी जाएगी उतना दूर तक बाण लक्ष्य वेदन करेगा. So let me start with a quote from Rig Veda that let knowledge come to us from all directions. And exactly the Richa is like that. Anu, Bhadra, Krantu, and from Vishwa, from Vishwani, and from whole world, let knowledge come to us. Moving to the cultural scenario and cultural studies through language, literature and media on the topic, I would like to have one small comment that yesterday was widely discussed and regarded about media. Media talks about reading the lines, but media never talks about reading between the lines. There is always a gap to explore that what is inside the lines, what is unsaid, and that is something big vacuum where all the readership fits in. For that purpose, when we start translating it into Hindi, that reading between the lines, what exact Hindi translation can be of this? So I translated it like that, शब्द विन्यास से परे भाव की खोज. And many a times I feel as a language teacher that language itself is not capable of, carrying the sum total of culture from one generation to the other generation. Then moving to some literary text to as the evidences of that, when we look into Ramayana and Mahabharata, I would like to go into the Sriraj Gopalachari textual presentations of Ramayana and Mahabharata, two ancient Indian epics, where Sriraj Gopalachari indirectly giving a commentary also on Indian society. As a critic also and in the praise of Indian culture, he says that at that time India was divided into 4 varna, and that was also there is no rigidity, one can opt varnas and varnashram system according to their own work division. Even in Bhagavad Gita there is a line, Chatur Vadyam Maya Srishtam Gud Karma Vibhagasha. But later on somewhere their rigidity came, and that rigidity came, I don't know from where, but in practice it was reflected highly. But still Sriraj Gopalachari is giving a commentary over it that the practice was that mixed marriages was in practice at the time. When we realized that the daughter of Shukracharya was married to Devayani, was married to a Kshatriya king, and when that king, that young prince visited to Shukracharya ji, then he asked the question that this marriage is pratiloma, not the anuloma. But Shukracharya said that we can discuss the validity of a marriage beforehand. And if the marriage is already solemnized, then there is no need of discussing the whether it was valid or not. Marriage is a marriage. So at that time, inter-caste marriages was acceptable. Moving beyond that, again here, Mahabharata, I look personally it as a tale of, a saga of a society's, destruction, where the society completely was demolished in Mahabharata and towards its end, the battle itself. But still, in preface to Mahabharata, Siraj Gopalachari writes that the main objective of that to keep the status of women unlowered. So women can adopt the husband from all four varnas, they can take the life partner, but that permission was not granted to the male of the society, male member of the society. So it was again woman-centric and empowering the women at a time. But many a times when it comes to real practice, I look at the English language, and I would like to again salute the speaker, Ma'am Lucy, from the day one, when she was highlighting that cult and culture and Sanskriti. That talking about cultural studies, she said that cult is something that is segregational or apart, but culture is Sanskriti, is it imbibes all, it imbibes everything. We talk about the literature nowadays after 1960s, when we start looking at many practices like black literature, in America, Dalits there, and even the convener of the program said that 1960s witnessed the cultural studies bringing, the seeds started from there. But 60s was in the British sense or in English origin, etymological origin as it suggests, that cultural study was looking at the part, not at the whole. So it was a cultural study, not the, Sanskriti. So cult was the part, looking at the part, and where we started looking at the thing. And the similar thing may be looked into the language study of the English language as particular, where we find that the carrier as the vehicle of the language, English was how incompetent, incomprehensive in the terms of particular words. Because there came a movement of a gender inclusive language. Why was it required? Gender fair language, and then ultimately the present day. Many words, I would like to highlight a few words from English. See, before the advent of this mobile phone, cellular phones, there was no particular term for mobile. What was the term? Because of the technological advancement also, ICT was the term first used as a subject, as a discipline in 1995. It was introduced as a new academic discipline in USA, one of the US universities. But at the beforehand, in 1980s, there was an essay written by T.J. Gordon, the year 2050. He was projecting and looking at the future, that how will be the life of human being in the year 2050. Then he says that there will be a time when people will start carrying their cellular phones in their pockets, but the name was given Go Anywhere Telephone. To mobile phone, the name was given Go Anywhere Telephone. Then In future it came. For British people, where in the that you can say the cradle of English as a language, they were surprised and shocked to see Indians using a kind of gel for cleaning their hairs and a different kind of cake for cleaning their body. And we might be surprised to know that shampoo is an Indian word. Shampoo is a term, it was not from English, rather it was added to English dictionary. Similarly, we go and we can say that comparative Hindi-English culture, if you will look at the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary 8th edition, you will start looking at the alphabet M and meanings: Maharaja, Maharani, Maharishi, Mahayana, Mahaut. All these terms in bulk, you might be surprised to know that whether you are looking at English dictionary or Hindi dictionary. But there is only, very silly kind of experiment even they are done. See, Maharaja, we can say overlordship or something like that. That term is used for Maharaja. But Britishers and Oxford Dictionary was not able to give the meaning up to that size. So in order to demean the status of Maharaja, the meaning tells not a king, an Asian prince. The meaning of Maharaja is given over there as an Asian prince. So that way, regularly that transportation of the meaning and transferring it into the cultural, a kind of superior culture, dominant culture and subculture. That was in practice, and the connotation and meaning was utilized and used. So many times, and we realize that there is a line, Orientalism is a term used for, there is a line that used as a bin by the Britishers to term anything that is Eastern into, and they call it Oriental. But later on, then they realizing that all cultures, and right now also we are realizing all cultures are having their values, their significance, and for that purpose, I think there lies the significance, increasing significance of this cultural studies. Then I would like to, shampoo and was Indian. Then ICT came when in 1995, new term came, information superhighways. And then after using smartphone, in the era of smartphone, we all are in the practice that we keep busy ourselves in using smartphone. There came a new word, fubber. And fubbing is the term, the meaning of the fubbing is ignoring a person. This is again a new term added to English dictionary. Ignoring a person in front of you by favoring your smartphone. Means if we are ignoring somebody by favor of smartphone, we are using a smartphone, and this is very much in practice in our, you can see this example in Varanasi house and homes, family groups, that young kids are very busy, they favor their smartphone and they ignore their family. Then there came, for gender study, a new term came. We might be see a term, hero. Hero. Why he? Why not she? If a woman is coming up front, what do we call Jhansi Ki Rani, the Queen of Jhansi? Was she any lesser than a hero? What do we call? Again, the problem is in language. So new term is coming in the practice, Shero, S-H-E, for then all inclusive. Because inside she, he is already embedded. Shero is the new term coming into practice. Then there come, normally it comes as the, part of gender. He is expecting a baby. She is expecting a baby. That particular woman is expecting a baby. Why baby? Baby itself is giving male connotation. So what will be there? That may be any, any gender. Maybe male, maybe female, maybe third gender also. What can be the inclusive terminology of the third gender? So, beforehand deciding that she is expecting a baby, only, even in Hindi we call it कि उनको बच्चा होने वाला है. Why not बच्ची होने वाली है? Why not the third gender? Okay, I'll conclude. I got it, the idea. Then there comes the plural gender. A new term is to be added very soon in dictionary. Devi. They for plural, and then baby B part, and then maybe any gender, male, female, or transgender. So the term she is expecting a baby. We cannot, even in our expectation, the preference for male child, that should not be there. Then if we look at the whole word, we can look at it as a, in two context culture, high context culture and low context culture. When we call high context culture, there, what are you telling is important, but how are you telling is more important. What are you talking is important, how are you talking. So focus is more on how than what. And that is high context culture. Rest of the world is looking at like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Middle East as the high context culture, and other part of the country as the other part of the globe is as the low context culture. Where what are you telling, that means what. Then again there comes the, for cultural studies, we need to look at, what is my opinion now. I am concluding, I have been said, so I will be skipping a lot many points. But how do I look at these things? That don't look at the culture in different segregated cults. Rather, somewhere the attempt to inclusivity is supposed to be started and initiated. For having the inclusive look, we need to come here on the peaceful coexistence and cultural equilibrium. For that purpose, two metaphors I would like to share, that is platter of salad. As the different kind of, fruits are there and materials are there in a platter of salad of different color, they are existing together. That in the same way we should start existing on this earth, cohesively. Then there comes, no, there is not perfect amalgamation in platter of salad itself. There was a challenge. So there came the melting pot metaphor, another metaphor like ice cream. No ingredient can be separated from ice cream melting pot. Everything is unitedly coexisting. There comes the ideology of cultural, coexistence and cultural equilibrium. Moving to the ideas given by Malviya ji and Mahatma Gandhi, this is October, and I would like to say cultural conflict also emerged because of migration and other things and other challenges. But here I would like to say, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji used to say, and I am here in an institute affiliated to Banaras Hindu University, and as the student of that campus, it's my great, I am considering me lucky to quote here Malviya ji in his own periphery, that he used to dedicate himself for the cohesion of all Hindu religion, and he used to go in villages and he used to visit Dalit residents and Dalit habitats, and he used to give them Guru mantra at the time of Om Namah Shivaya, like Guru Mukh karna, kisi ko Guru se mantra lena, and he used to visit without discrimination since morning till night, and he used to tell them the mantra of Lord Shiva, and that way he dedicated himself to this cultural upliftment and cultural unison and cultural amalgamation and cultural, holistic cultural development of India. Then Gandhiji, Gandhian view, Gandhiji used to tell, Malviya ji, what did he did for Hindu civilization, Gandhi ji did for everybody. He used to tell that Gandhian view on education, if you read, I am quoting the book, Gandhian view on education, you will realize that Gandhiji used to say, when I look at India, and he mean the whole India, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh today. He said, when I look at India, I look at it as a temple where all educated, elite Hindus, Muslims, Parsis, Sikhs, Sindhis, they are taking the parikrama, pious parikrama of that temple, and they are residing together. It is probably the idea asking for a realization of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam by means of the practice of Gandhian ideology, where not the whole world as a family, rather whole earth as a family. Yesterday, one of the colleagues from Poland, he said that there is a language of animals too. So when you look at Vasudha Eva Kutumb, the earth itself as a family, there will also be the concept of unition and holistic amalgamation of the language. Then we will start calling it not the extra personal communication, rather communicating with animals will also come into this compound boundary. That's it from my side. Thanks for providing me this opportunity to speak before the gathering, and I am really thankful to the Indrajit Misra ji and all the organizers and organizing secretary of this conference for having me here. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhir Narayan Singh, sir, for redefining and reframing this concept, cult, cultural and Sanskriti. Your paper was really very interesting, and we would have liked to know more about it, but we will arrange a lecture some other time. Thank you, sir.